Roaches got him, dude. Like in the Mummy, remember?
You are live.
What's up, Food Podcast? Welcome to the What's Up Food Podcast. I am Felipe Esparza, the host with the most 330 episodes of What's Up Food Podcast. Counting today, we have not stopped. We don't even have a sponsor yet, but we'll soon have one. But right now, man, I'd like to sponsor that. Those cutoff T-shirts that James is wearing are available. All you gotta do is go buy one at Kmart and catch us at a show, and we'll rip the sleeves off for you.
Yeah.
You got Rodrigo Torres right here, fresh haircut, looking like Bob's big boy.
Niño bueno.
Where's the burger at, bro?
Yeah, there he is. Right here, all the way from East Los.
What's happening?
Hey, this guy Louis in the chat on YouTube. He said salute from New Zealand. He's from this. He's watching from New Zealand.
Kiwi.
Shout out, man! Oh, damn, New Zealand. Wow, that's far, man. They're like morning right now.
Other side of the world.
Afternoon, probably.
That's Australia's Hawaii right there, dude.
What's up, everybody? I'm Felipe Esparza right here. I'm feeling good right now. We got Gil Carrillo right here. A man that I've known since I used to perform at the Commerce Casino, Steven's Steakhouse, Victor Steakhouse, over there by Caddy's. Caddy's is the club, man, that if you went there before 10, you get in free on Fridays. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What up?
There's some emotion, man. Everybody's dead.
Caddy, dog.
You know, dude. I
miss
it.
Man, before I was when I came out of rehab, I was like 21, bro, 22. I never went out. I never went anywhere. All the damage that I did was only in my neighborhood. Like, you're lucky I didn't go to your neighborhood. Like, you're lucky that I didn't do damage at Quiet Canyon, bro. You're lucky that I didn't destroy JNS.
Oh, my God.
You're lucky that I stopped drinking at those times, bro, because they would have had my picture at Ordóñez. Do not let this man in. Even though they already had one already, even sober.
Hey, what did you think was far? What did you think was far back then when you were younger in Boyle Heights? Like Alhambra or what? Or like what did you think was far when you traveled? You know,
man, when I was a little kid living in Pico Aliso, Pico Gardens housing projects, Hollaback Division. For me, bro, Azusa was far, bro.
It's like you might as well live in a different state, huh?
It's still far.
Like Azusa,
Azusa's far.
Santa Paula, Cudahy was far, bro.
Other side of the 605.
Like they were trying to use a restroom, but we're going somewhere.
That's so funny. You know why? Because like
we had friends that lived in mid city, I guess.
Yeah,
and they were that the only kids that we knew was cable, bro.
Yeah.
So we go to their house. That one of the guys, his son had no arm, bro. He had a little fake arm, little kid. And I asked my dad, what happened to his arm? He took it out the window and they told him not to. My dad was kind of those dads, bro. If you no matter what you ask him, he'll relate to something he already told you like a long time ago. Like, how come that man has big teeth? Oh, because he started eating a lot of candy. Why is that guy living in the streets? He didn't like doing his homework.
That's a good one, dude.
How come the guy smells? He don't like taking showers, eh?
Oh, that's true, though.
Anyways, I started before I started doing stand-up, I used to be like a designated driver for a bunch of drunks, and we would go out every day, bro. Tuesday nights, we would go to Quiet Canyon. It was Tasty Tuesdays.
Wow, dude.
Free. It was dollar drinks from opening till midnight, bro.
Man.
And then Wednesdays, I took a break.
Wednesday was Wild Coyote, wasn't it?
And Thursday, huh?
Wasn't Wednesday Wild Coyote?
No, before stand-up.
Oh, before stand-up. Oh, okay.
And
but back then was the golf course still there?
dude, the golf course, everything was already there, man. Sometimes I would get so early and pretend I was golfing, and then jump the fence, jump the bushes, and get in the club, bro.
4.
Yeah, man. And then I would go on Friday nights, caddies, right there across the street from that Victor's Steakhouse, where I used to perform with Rudy Moreno. And Saturday nights, we would go to the arena, bro, over there in Santa Monica. On Friday nights, it was a full-blown gay club. Like, we're talking like 5 stages of if you like leather and cuffs, there's one side. If you like transgender men, at the one side. If you're just a guy who looks like me and James, who's gay, there's that variety too, bro. It was like a mall of gayness.
Wings,
everything.
And everybody knew not to go that night, bro.
So
every once in a while, it'll be like me and my friends trying to get those chicks that hang out with gay guys.
Yeah, dude.
On the sneak peek.
And then Sunday night, I never went out, but my friends used to go to that place right there with the Gilbert Gil over there by Luminares, bro.
by Baby Dolls.
It was called Baby Dolls.
Baby Dolls.
And let me tell you, bro, that place was gangster, dog. Like, that place was perfect for a rest because there's 2 perfect jails to send you, bro. Women's prison and the male's prison right there. Civil Brad and county jail, dude.
That's so funny. And by Baby Dolls, Luminarias, there's another golf course up there too, dude.
Yeah, man.
You ever?
Bro, I hooked up with some chick one time, and she bought us all Tommies, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's taking one for the team, buddy.
Before the hookup or after?
No, we didn't. We hooked up first, and then she goes, "You guys want to go?" And my friend yelled out, "Tommies!" She goes, "Brrr." We didn't wear seatbelts, bro. She took us to Tommy's, and man,
Rampart?
It's different when you order food when you're not paying, bro.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
Like when I would order Tommy's by myself, it was always a single burger with a soda and a chips. But since I wasn't paying, I go, just give me the triple cheeseburger. if they have an egg to splash it in there, eh?
Chili cheese fries.
I was a marrano, bro, when I ate food, bro. Like,
yeah, I like Tommy.
Like for me, bro, a chili burger with a fried egg on top and some bacon, dude.
I like Tommy's, but they give you a big ass tomato, bro.
I know, man. What's up with Tommy's? Gil, you gotta tell them something, bro.
No, I'm listening. I'm glad I wasn't running around with you. Trying to keep up on you on the streets would have been tough. I mean, Baby Dolls, Illuminatians, and Tommy's all in one night. I don't know that I'd have been able to hang.
Me and my friends, man, we used to share one big chili fries from the Hat.
Bomb.
I used to hang around. You were talking about J&S and Ordonez. J&S was my spot. Even while I was working, we'd go there in the middle of the night and grab some good burritos out of J&S.
Hey, man. Hey, Gil, that green chili burrito's good, huh?
Yeah, it was. Real good.
Yeah, dude.
I love the green chili burrito. That's my favorite.
My Chaca burrito too.
Bro, I remember one time I was there and I never paid attention, right? Because I was always like just looking down. I never looked up at the menu. I just saw what's in front of me. And I saw they had corn dogs. I said, all right, give me 3 corn dogs and a green burrito, bro. And I said, all right. And I was passing out corn dogs, bro. It was good, dude.
They got taco dogs right there too.
The lady thought it was crazy, bro, but I wanted to put a corn dog in the green burrito.
Bro.
If you put a corn dog in a green burrito, and you're locked up already, it tastes like a tamal.
Yeah, they got a chili relleno burrito there too.
Yeah, they do. That's bomb.
Yeah, that chili relleno burrito right there.
Yeah.
Carb on carbs, bro. Good.
Dude, that's bomb as hell, dude.
So we got Gil Carrillo, man. He's back.
Man.
He did episode 5, for those of you who don't know. We went to
295 episodes ago.
Wow, that was a long
like
time
300
ago.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like you were number 5. Like we did the first 3 episodes were the kidnap series. It was all people that I party with and kidnap. You know how it is. You know how it is, Gil. When you have a homie that likes to drink, and then you gotta babysit him, and you gotta drive him now. That was I was the baby.
That was a long time ago. We've been friends a long time, Felipe.
Yeah, man. The first episode, believe it or not, was Juan Garcia, Chepo.
JG.
And the second one was, and the third one was Keith Manning.
What
and the fourth one was, I don't remember, probably Kenny.
Kenny was 2. Kenny was number 2.
Oh, okay.
And then 3 and 4 might have been Theo
Taylor.
Keith and Theo. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But wait, what's his face was in there too? Richard Chen and Sherms.
That's right.
Right? With their kidnap story down in El Centro, where you kidnapped them.
Yeah, the hotel room.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I'm gonna kill this fool.
I forgot that. I also used to go to the Hop in La Puente. That was a place where you could hook up on a mom and a daughter.
Legendary.
For real, bro. A lot of babies were made at the IKEA parking lot.
a lot of zillennials, dude, were made there.
Gil is a superstar now. You're a superstar.
I'm just the same old guy that I ever was. I'm not used to all this stuff.
You're the Commissioner Gordon of LA, dude.
You know, we just got lucky. That's, you know, they told a story and I guess people liked it, and I know Netflix is happy.
It's good. People loved you though specifically because people all over the internet were saying you should have your own series. And I would love to see you. If you don't have an agent yet, we can connect you with Felipe's people, but I'm serious. I think you should be doing like those crime shows, those detective shows, those sorts of things, like doing the voiceover, the storytelling. You're a great storyteller.
You gotta host Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I could see you on hosting the new season of Forensic Files.
The stars, bro.
You know, man, because you with the show on Netflix came around like the perfect time because people are going through so many shows and they watch so much Law and Order, so much forensic, so much cold case files, so much, you know, of everything that me and Lisa, we watch Forensic Files and
all day
and cold case, and sometimes it surprises me all these jobs that I could have had, you know.
Nobody knew about. I know.
Like I could have been a splatter expert,
a blood spatter expert, like tire tread.
You know how many times I thrown up on walls?
This guy had Tommy's. Oh, I think like.
You know, I used to read that stuff. It tells your story.
Oh.
Hey, Gil, growing up and when you were a teenager, did you ever read those old school detective magazines?
Nah, I didn't read any of that. I don't even read now, brother, unless it has pictures.
I know, man. We emailed you 3 weeks ago.
I just there's a book out on the Night Stalker case. I've never read it. You know, the only part I read was a manuscript that involved me, where they were asking me questions. You're
talking about the one with Philip Carlo?
Yes.
Oh,
everybody tells me an excellent book. Phil was a friend. I've just never read the entire book.
He also wrote Helter Skelter, no?
I don't know what else. He wrote a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not a reader.
Yeah.
I've been asked to write books.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't read the book we're talking about because I have audio now, so I listen to everything.
I can do that. Audio, I've done that. Listen to stuff.
A lot of the stuff on that book was not in a documentary, and it's not. I never heard about it unless you look for it and you investigate it. The part that really stuck to me a lot was when Philip Carlo was talking about Richard Ramirez, crazy ass Vietnam veteran uncle or cousin.
Yes.
And that guy was crazier than him.
Killed his wife, right?
Yeah, he killed his wife. Allegedly killed his wife right in front of Richard. That's where Richard got the idea, and allegedly he had taught Richard how to do this. the documentary was based not on Richard so much and everything that he did. It was based on the investigators and the investigation and the residents of Los Angeles County at the time. So that's why they didn't go into detail
of his past.
Yeah, I think a lot of younger people watching Netflix were new to Richard. You know, I think that was new. It was new to them, the whole story.
It was something new. There's some program on TV, Horror Stories, I believe. I started to watch it once, and because the topic was one of the characters in this fictionalized version of television was the Night Stalker. And it was
American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, that's right.
American Horror Story. Yeah. And I just looked at it for a little bit, and because I know the realities, I just changed it right away. I didn't last 5 minutes because I knew it wasn't real.
Me too. When I saw Richard Ramirez in American Horror Story, I said to myself, he would never hang around with these people.
No.
Yeah, so it was fake, so I didn't pay attention to it. My son, who is now 43 years old, he said, Dad, this thing hit at the right time because all the people who grew up around my age don't really know about Ramirez, but they've heard about it through American Horror Stories. So now they're putting a name with something that came out, and this is true though. The stuff that you saw about Netflix, it was true.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the most frustrating thing for me is definitely what this series touched on, or that dove into, I guess, was the dropping the ball between jurisdictions, or the egos involved, you know, those things that were stopping or slowing the investigation, or taking you back, like when Feinstein mentioned the shoes, you know, like so many stumbles that are, it's not just this case, this is happening all the time, and especially in a place like LA that has so many different moving parts of the legal system. Felipe understands like districts, and like you understand where the sheriff starts,
the jurisdictional lines, and there is to a certain extent, you know, this friction, but it's not in this case. It really wasn't existent. LAPD made it wasn't the LAPD. It's like when just imagine the Dodgers playing a baseball game. One guy makes an error. You don't blame the whole team for the error. It was one guy. They talk about the print and how we didn't get over there. We didn't know about it, and the guy got away, never had the car printed, the car baked off. But that was one guy. And then he took days off. But he was working for LAPD, so therefore it's LAPD. We didn't get the information. But it wasn't the entire department. We had really made a pact with the two leaders from LAPD, the investigators, our counterparts. And we met with them almost on a daily basis. We exchanged information, and we just said, hey, let's just solve the case. We don't care who gets an arrest. We just need to solve the case. And we were very open about exchanging information. So it worked well. Feinstein, she stands on her own 2 feet. I'll never understand why she did what she did. And I was ready to throw in the hat that day. It was ludicrous.
You guys started over the next day, right? You just started from scratch.
Exactly. And there was a couple of the smaller agencies that were afraid of Big Brother coming in and taking over. And so they did what they did. But the bottom line, it was solved. And that the big one was the car that got away that stood over there, because there was information in there that we found that killed us. Our department made a mistake. Executives from our department, we had two guys sitting inside a dental office 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And one of the executives said, hey, it's costing us too much money. Pull them out and have them put the robbery alarm in there. So they did. And again, that wasn't LAPD's fault. It was a malfunctioning robbery alarm. You know, it just malfunctioned. It didn't work. It chose not to work the day that Richard went in there. So one day that we're not in there, he goes in there and gets his teeth worked on. They hit the alarm. It doesn't work. So we're back at, okay, put the guys back in there tomorrow.
That's crazy. What are the odds though? Like, that's just
one of those things, dude.
I know, man.
It was crazy. It was frustrating.
And what's funny too about Feinstein, like he ended up changing his shoes after she divulged that information, right?
He did. He had to change shoes because he threw those over the Golden Gate Bridge. He told us that.
Are you? Wow.
So, hey, Gil, when you guys were investigating, when you guys already knew his name and all that, did you guys go through all the Richard Ramirez in Boyle Heights? Because I knew growing up, I knew a guy who was a stoner with long hair, went to Roosevelt High School, my homie, and his name was Richard Ramirez.
I remember you saying that.
The day
Well,
stalker.
we were lucky, well, at least in part, because they had, at that time, 1985, they had felony arrests and convictions were automated. So those were all computerized. Misdemeanors at that point had not been computerized yet.
Oh.
So we finally got a last name to go with them just a day before the arrest. And we had them hand search the file, and they come up with 8 of them. And out of the 8 that had a misdemeanor arrest record or conviction, one of them has to print to our Richard. And that's how we identified him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Because in 19, he was arrested in 85, right?
August 31st, 1985.
Yeah, I was living in Pico Aliso projects, and when he was arrested, I was at Hollenbeck Division outside trying to watch too what's going on. I was one of the mob.
You were one of the mob. There were hundreds of people out there around that station.
I was trying to catch a glimpse. I just saw, all I got to see was a Band-Aid. But when that was going on, everybody in my neighborhood was scared, right? Especially my dad, because they thought they were going to bring it to, because we live in the projects. We were like, our projects was 2 floors. So we had a living room with an upstairs and 4 bedrooms. You know, muy chingón in the projects. But yeah, but we had no fire. We had no burglar alarms. You know, our house got broken in from the inside.
Well, you didn't have to worry much. You never hit in any of the articles. You never hit in anything like that.
So my dad started cutting all the broomsticks to lock the windows.
Sure.
A lot of guns were sold during that time, huh?
A lot of guns were sold. A lot of locks, burglar alarm systems. They couldn't keep up with them.
I remember when Richard Ramirez was when they were looking for him, our neighborhood was just beginning to sell crack.
Wow.
And it was like, because our neighborhood was called Thailand because all they sold was Thai bud, like only weed, like only Thai bud. And people would walk into the neighborhood, and they even sold it in bags. You know what it was, Gil? It was Thai sticks. It was one long stick.
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. By that time, in the 80s, I was now working murders, so I didn't. You know, it's not like we're patrol cops or dope cops that are looking for dope. Now, you know, I get there, all the action's over with. I just have to deal with the dead bodies.
Damn.
Investigate them.
Before the Night Stalker case, have you worked on other murders that were hard to solve?
Well, you know, they're all hard to solve. The difference between this one and others that I worked is this one just had a lot of notoriety. It was what they call a high-profile case. I hadn't had a high-profile case, but all the murders are difficult to solve, especially the ones, you know, involved in the neighborhoods, gang members, because everybody's afraid to talk. Nobody wants to help. They're afraid of retaliation. And, you know, hey, we'll take care of ourselves and, you know, don't be a rat. So those are difficult to solve. It takes an awful lot of patience, awful lot of work, the ability to talk to these people to get something out of them.
Hey, Gil, how many sheriff's deputies were needed to control the East LA Cinco de Mayo festival? They had them in Maravilla projects every year.
Oh, I have no idea.
How crazy was that, though?
I have no idea.
Rodriguez performed. That was, Rodrigo, let me tell you, that was like a big, big, big music festival that they had at Belvedere Park on East LA, bro, on Cinco de Mayo.
On Medic.
Like big bands would perform. Paul Rodriguez was performing there one night, and he was throwing tortillas, bro.
So his old school act?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I remember, dude, one time, I never got to go. I only went twice. I caught the 31 bus, and I got out right there on Mednick, and then walked the rest. And man, it was a big old fight, bro. That fight led to my neighborhood, dude.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
That's hard, too.
those dudes came to our neighborhood with busted heads, bro, from either a gang or the deputy sheriffs. They started fighting everybody in our neighborhood. Like they went after all the youngsters.
Fuck, dude.
Regulate.
It was crazy, dude. Some guy from the neighborhood came out with a big old rifle, and it still had a price tag hanging out of it, dog.
From Chuck E. Cheese.
I was saving this for Richard, but I'll give it to Ricky.
There you go.
Ricky.
And
You didn't know he was gonna take it back or not.
Gil, do you think that if the stuff about his acts against children had been made public, do you think that those people would have killed him instead of just stopping him? Do you think they would have beat him to death?
No, I don't think so, because the realities are I don't think they knew who they had initially.
Yeah.
You know, because he was just a man that was trying to carjack a lady for her car. The husband came out, he got the first blow, and then when the neighbors saw that what was going on, then they gave chase. Richard had been running for a while already, and he was tired. They chased him, they got him, and once they got him down, then somebody recognized who he was. But by this time, deputy was already nearby. They just stopped him and hooked him up and put him in the backseat of the car. He was actually saved, and it was the good people that caught Richard. It wasn't the gang members. If the gang members had caught him, he'd have been dead. I don't care what he did.
Yeah.
He'd have been dead. But it was the good people that caught him, so they detained him.
Yeah, he took that car real early instead of afternoon.
That's right.
Other children who were still sleeping. They were tired from sniffing glue.
Yeah.
What area did they catch him again in? Because I hear different stories from different people that, like, you know, like my ex-girlfriend's dad told me, like,
on Hubbard Street.
Hubbard Street, yeah.
Because somebody told me it was like Riggins and fucking Atlantic. Then somebody else told me it was fucking at fucking Eagle Rock. Like a whole bunch of different.
It was at King Taco, dog.
Yeah.
Some people say he was caught on Drew Street.
I didn't really trip out on that guy, how sophisticated he was, you know, with his limited resources, how he had his little locker over there at the bus depot where he called his kill kit. And I was just like, wow, man. And he always got away.
He was good at what he did. He was good at his craft.
Super
Unfortunately for him, we were better.
In that book,
fuck that guy.
In that book with Philip Carlo, they talk about that he did a lot of he broke into a lot of houses with a woman that he used to hang around with at the Greyhound station that taught him how to break into stuff, and she became a witness.
Well, we didn't use there was one lady that testified in court, and she said she knew him, and she was an old hype herself.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, and she was no good. She was worthless as a witness, and some of the stuff she said was made up. I don't know. Personally, I didn't know she was on the witness list. I didn't see her because I had already asked several months ago to get her out of the station. I didn't want to use her as an informant because she was not trustworthy. And somehow, one day, because I was in court every day, I see she's on the witness list, and they're calling her up. But she didn't testify. The testimony she gave was not good.
On the book on Philip Carlo, I guess they elaborate more on her and her relationship with Richard Ramirez, and she talked about how he was too sloppy when they were breaking into houses. She taught him how to like wear gloves and do all this. I think she was trying to get money from being on that book too, because
I think she was, because Richard, in all the cases we worked, he was by himself. He never had anybody with him. So
I think everybody at the end, once this broke out, everybody wanted to be attached somehow to him or somehow to the case, because you know how many people hit us up every morning when we put that photo of you that we're gonna be up there. Hey, tell Gil that I was there too, but my mom didn't let me out to punch him.
Over the years I've gone around, and somebody will mention the Night Stalker, and I say nothing. I just listen to them. And they tell me how he was in their backyard or how he got their mother, but then decided to let her go. There's all kinds of stories. And so I just listen. I don't correct anybody. Let them live their fantasy.
That's hilarious how they used to say, it's Mariano Duncan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Remember, Gil, when you said that when we had you on a podcast on episode 5,
Yes,
you said that the Dodgers had a baseball player named Mariano Duncan, and he did look like the sketch.
yes, he did. And somebody called up. He was up in San Francisco when there was a murder up there, and that's when they put 2 and 2 together. They said it is Mariano Duncan because hey, look, we had a murder up here, and the Dodgers were up in town playing ball, and then he's down there. So they did, and he had the same kind of hair, and he was thin. So, but it wasn't Mariano, not at all.
Did you guys bring him in?
No, we didn't.
You sort of vouch for him.
You guys should have called him Mariano Duncan. You're arrested for stealing home.
If we were smart, we should have just went to a couple of Dodger baseball games and said we're working. Play.
In hindsight, huh? Hilarious.
When you were, we saw a lot of photos. I saw a lot of photos in a documentary that I never seen of you. And man, you always happy, man, like jovial and good spirits. And when you were younger and shit, like you're like somebody that cracks jokes.
I love. There's nothing I love more than to laugh, And I've gone to see you, and I got a loud, gregarious laugh. Everybody says the same thing. It's a lot more fun in life like that. You can't take life too serious. You'll never get out alive anyway. So why not have fun? That's why I enjoy your company, your shows, and you talk reality stuff. So it's good.
I know, like I watched those young photos of you, and you look like somebody that never stood up in public and went.
No, that's not me.
When you were working the case, like that must have been especially in the book and the documentary, this absorbed and took over most of your life. Like it seemed like you didn't sleep for like sometimes 3 days working on this case.
It was very intense, and you're just focusing, and you'd get home and you say, did I do this? Did I do that? What do I need to do tomorrow? What am I missing? What is he doing right now? So there really wasn't much rest. And my captain was quoted in the paper at that time saying that we were working 16, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it was tough, and it wasn't a good time. It was all focus.
That's funny, man. Somebody's gonna use that line. Be gone for 5 days on doing drugs. Where were you, honey? Honey, I've been up off of 5 days working on a serial killer case.
About to crack it.
Your partner, the one you were working with, the legendary Frank Salerno, he's an OG. I like the story that you said about when you were, because I've been there, man. When you're so happy just to be there, man. Like you said when you were having Italian
dinner,
Little Italy right there in Chinatown. By
Little
the way,
Joe's.
that restaurant don't exist no more.
Yeah, it's gone.
What's it called?
Little Joe's. It used to be called Little Joe's.
Little Joe's was like one of the last Italian restaurants that was left after World War II, when Mussolini became a socialist and all that World War II. There was a backlash in downtown LA against Italian businesses, and that's one of them.
I didn't realize you were a student of history.
Hey,
I dabble, bro, on stuff.
So
Little Joe's was one of the last ones, and the way Little Joe's really was one of the restaurants was really, really supported by city workers, LAPD, sheriff. You would go in there, you would see pictures of Tommy Lasagna there, bro, like this. And Tommy Lasorda had photos in there with Davy Lopes, Steve Garvey, all those dudes. So that was one of those restaurants that it didn't need nobody from outside to support it, because within the city everybody was always like, if you had a suit, it was either there or the steakhouse over there in downtown, the one with the little cart.
Pacific dining cart?
The dining cart, yeah.
Pacific dining cart,
It's
dude.
one of those restaurants where you don't need to advertise because people already know about it. You know what I mean?
Like Felipe's.
Yeah. Felipe's, another one.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
But I went there.
When you were saying
I went there to Little Joe's, and I'd been in Homicide maybe 2 weeks, a week, and I went with Salerno and some of the guys from Homicide that invited me to go over there and have dinner. And I went there, and I looked at the menu, and I really didn't know. I didn't know anything about Italian food. I was raised in a Mexican house. And so I just looked at something. Okay, it's got chicken, it's got cheese, and it's fried. Let's eat it. So I went there, and now I'm eating it, and I'm just laughing. I'm giggling to myself because I'm like a little kid. I shouldn't even be talking to these old veteranos that I'm with. And when Frank said, "Hey, what's so funny, kid?" I said, "Nothing." And he said, "Now, come on. What's so funny?" And I said, "Okay, you want to know? I'll tell you. 2 weeks ago, I'm pushing a radio car. I'm eating a double wrapped red chili burrito out of Lupe's right off the hood of my radio car. Tonight, I'm eating some shit that I don't know what it is, drinking a glass of wine. I'm with Frank Salerno and the guys from Homicide. It don't get any better than this." You know, I was excited. Man. I was like a Christmas kid on Christmas Day.
A fat awesome. Chicken Parmesan.
Yeah, chicken Parmesan. Now I know what it is.
Hey, Gil, how were you approached for this project on Netflix? It's huge. It was like #1.
Well, it was
3 weeks.
It was #1 in the nation. It last I heard it had gone to #6 in the world. And I was approached. There was a family friend. There used to be a deputy sheriff, got injured, and had to leave the department early. He went on to be a writer, and he was actually writing for the program Chicago PD. And he was writing for them, and he asked me if I'd meet with him. So I went out and had dinner with him and another guy, and he just told me a story. He says, "Hey, you know, you look at TV, you see a lot of lead roles and a lot of stories being told about white people, Caucasians, you know, and African Americans, but you don't see anything about Latinos." He says, "We'd like to put something together and see if we can come up with something. And I've known you, I've known your career, and I've known what you've been involved in. See if we can't derive something out of that." And so I had dinner with him at the Del Rey in Pico. And nice dinner. The next day he called me up and said, "Hey, the other writer that was with me really loved you." And I said, "Well, that's all well and good. I really don't care. I got a free steak and some wine. I'm happy." And made a new friend. Well, a year and a half later, I'm approached by that second guy and said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to somebody, and we're thinking about putting something together." So I went and I met Mr. Tiller Russell, the director of this Netflix thing. And he was a good guy. And we talked. And once he got done interviewing, he says, "I like it. I like, you know, Tim Walsh approached me and told me he wanted me to talk to you. I've listened to you. I like what the way you are. I like your personality. I like everything about it. And I want to do something." And so we shook hands, and that was the beginning of it. And I had no idea. Well, he came up with the idea, and he got my partner involved in it. He got Frank Salerno involved in it, and then they put it together. Frank, I don't know about Frank. I know I had nothing to do with the putting it together. I'm just the subject of the interviews. They did it, and he tried to tell me one time how he wanted it to weave, and I just told him, "Stop. You know, I don't need to know. I'm not, you know, that's your end of it. That's your job. You guys know what you want to do. You have the ideas. You know what you can do and what you can't do. I'm just here to let you interview me." And I saw it for the first time when it was released, just like everybody else, on the 13th of January. And I was shocked. I had no idea. It came out much better than I ever anticipated. And I had no idea it was going to drive this much notoriety or this much publicity or talking all around.
Yeah, man, that's the greatest thing. That's cool that you pointed that out. I didn't know that they were striving to make something that was heavily Latino, because the thing I felt from that perspective of this documentary was the whole your Garfield connection, these Chicano police officers and detectives, you know, who were involved in this. It really felt very Chicano, very strong. Like I would think that I'm not Latino, but I would think that any Mexican American kid around here is going to feel very proud to see the work you guys put in.
And the way the show was portrayed, it didn't come out as Latino to me.
It didn't, but I'm just saying.
It wasn't intended to come out.
No.
It wasn't intended to come out Latino with Latino issues.
Stand hard. Though.
I just happened to be the subject.
Yeah.
With the Hispanic background.
Yeah.
But as you say, Lisa, I have received so many messages from Hispanic individuals that were just so proud that I was here. One guy wrote me and said that his dad, they are from Michoacan, and him and his dad watched it together, and he said his dad started crying. His dad watched it and had tears rolling down, and it was just such an honor. He was so proud that there was somebody representing his culture.
Yeah.
And so it did the effect on some people. It did. It wasn't intended to be racially oriented. It wasn't a Latino show. It just so happened that I was Hispanic.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's exactly what you're saying. It just came through that you're this guy from Chicano family, Mexican American family, and these other people involved in this case were as well. And it was truly LA.
It was
LA through and through, and
they just haven't had. They haven't had, and I'm not, because I'm just Gil. Lisa, we've known each other a long time now. I think I'm just an everyday other guy. Most of my friends say the reason they like me is because I'm just gente. That's all I am. That's all I ever want to be. But this really put, you haven't had a very positive role model Latino in a true story.
Highlighting this point in history that you had an influence on, that doesn't happen all the time.
So for that, I'm very, very grateful for it. I hope to live up to anybody's expectations, but I'm really just another guy.
I know, man. Rudy Moreno is waiting for a shout out of Steven's Steakhouse.
Yeah, I was just talking to the owner of Steven's Steakhouse today. I'm waiting for him. We need to get him back open. That's my buddy that owned that place. And, old Jimmy Philippan at Steven's Steakhouse. I used to go there and with his parents when they owned it before they passed. So I've known Jimmy since he was a kid.
I remember his dad, man. He got me in a headlock.
Is that right?
No, I'm just kidding.
Jimmy acts just like his dad.
Yeah.
And it's a great place. So I can hardly wait. Hopefully in the next 2 months, they'll be back open again.
I was very intimidated with it one time. I went there and I thought it would be regular salsa night. And we got some veteranos here, cholos, who could dance salsa, man.
Wow. That's not something you see every day either.
I know, man. If we were dancing and shit with his Stacey Adams.
There's some fans were asking.
Lisa, get to the questions.
Some Fools Gone Wild fans were asking to see Gil's socks. They want to see how down he is. They want to see how high your socks are.
My sock. I'm wearing black pants right now, and I've got black socks on. I mean, and they're high.
How
high are your socks?
How high do they go?
My socks, my black socks. These are come all the way up to my calf, all the way up above my calf.
All right. The higher the socks, the down near the food. Come on, Gil, give with a
I'm trying to figure out if I can get these pants up. Get that. All right, let's see if we can get those things on there. Can you see my leg now?
No. Now I can see.
Shit, hold on. Let me see. Oh shit. The higher the socks, the downer the fool.
There you go.
We'll clip this part, James. It's funny. They said you're a down-ass fool, Gil.
Oh, thank you.
Yo, right now
I'm proud to be a fool.
Right now with your black sweater and your hair, you look like that guy from Fargo. Not without my daughter. Yeah, man. When I saw you, it's like you. When I saw you in that light on television, I was like, damn, Gilbert looks cool. Gil looks cool, eh? He got it, eh? I felt like he has that it factor, eh?
Yeah, you do.
I could play his son, eh?
Hey, that's not the fool that you hear laughing over at Stevens. Matter of fact, all the shots, you'd be interested. The shots that they took of me at when I'm sitting at the bar, it's at Stevens.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was shot at Stevens Steakhouse.
That's cool.
Oh wow.
Stevens Steakhouse. It's Italian owned, right? Stevens Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, right.
During that, they also showed a picture of your whole family in that one little frame. They were babies, basically, right? Like they were teenagers, like they were like under 15 years old during all.
Oh yeah, my kids and the picture the one that shows my 3 kids, my wife and myself. My son was probably about 7, so that would have made him 7, 10, and 13, right in that mid-range area.
Because I know that in that Philip Carlo book, they mentioned a part of yours that there was a time when you were losing it, you know, like, and you were about to go like deep end, and your wife talked to you and like she really like said some real nice, powerful things to you. That was the said in the book, and it really got back.
I think that was Phil's literary license. You know,
I know, but he got all Hollywood and shit.
Yes, I don't know.
Dramatic, dude.
During this case, my wife was really concerned, not only for her safety, but she was concerned about myself because I was working too hard, and sometimes after work, I'd stop, get a hit, because that was the only place we could talk peacefully by ourselves, my partner and myself, and we go have a couple of drinks, and we can only have 2 at maximum because we were working so hard, we were tired. So she was more concerned about my health, and she was concerned that if I were working too hard, I'd fall asleep at the wheel, especially if I had a couple of drinks. And so she wasn't giving me words of encouragement. She wanted me to slow down.
What would you go drink at? What bar?
That it didn't take. There was downtown. They had some place called the Code 7. It was right there by LAPD headquarters, right in between us there. And then there were also a few bars down in Chinatown that would facilitate us.
He used to go to the Shortstop.
That was an LAPD place. We'd go down to the Shortstop occasionally. You know, when you work the county, you know all the county spots. You know where to go.
Yeah, the Shortstop and the Gold Room. Those are some cool spots there.
Little Joy too.
I used to go I used to work at Dodger Stadium, and we used to go there after every game. So the Shortstop would not be nothing but ushers, security guard,
Dodger fans
who have nowhere to go, and LAPD. And there was a poster there of an LAPD case. Somebody went in there and tried to rob the place with a black comb and got lit up.
Oh,
fuck!
You should have got in there with hair like yours. Not worry about combing it.
Yeah.
I know that bar, man. Now it's a little hipster bar, but that's how it used to be the old days.
Yeah, that was an LAPD hangout.
Because that place, I knew that if somebody started trouble for me, I'd just run in that bar. They're trying to rob me, sir. And then like they won't do nothing.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I remember they had stole my dad's car, our truck, and we had to go pick it up at East LA Sheriff because our car was they had stolen it over there at Kmart.
Oh yeah,
Kmart in East LA.
Yeah,
5704 Whittier Boulevard. I still remember.
Yeah, dude. Commerce Center.
Right next to Nicolas, but I've never been there.
Yeah,
they had 916 South Gearhart.
They had a little Caesars in there, dude.
And after we reported the car stolen, my dad and I we went to King Taco. I'd never been to King Taco before, bro. And man, dog, I was hooked. Hooked on that salsa, bro.
I got hooked. When I was working patrol, as a young patrol deputy there at East LA, I remember when King Taco used to sell out of a truck right there in the corner of Ford. They used to sell out of big trucks. Yeah, that's where they started. They were good. They made so much money.
Crazy. That's how they opened up the restaurant, huh?
I used to when that one up there on Ford, that King Taco on Ford. Oh my God, man! It was so packed. They would have to open up another restaurant and a truck just to keep everybody stable. And there was a couple of deputies there all the time. And there was, let me tell you, man, even though there was a deputy sheriff there, King Taco security guard, they should have been protecting the Capitol Hill, bro. King Taco security guard doesn't play, bro. I remember this guy, he had a 45 on his shoulder, a 9mm on his pocket, a little tiny 38 to put and shoot him in the head to fake a murder, to give it to a cholo. And that fool had a nightstick, a brass knuckle, pepper spray.
And a grenade.
One time there was a fight inside when I was eating, and they were pepper spraying the whole place. And,
dude. I ordered no chile.
Everybody was sticking their taco in the air, bro. Right here, yo, me. Put some pepper spray on my taco.
I went there for prom night, bro. After prom, I went to King Taco right there.
Like a true East LAan.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Bro, right there, bro. Like, I remember standing in line, Gil, after a comedy show at King Taco, and I didn't go there a lot, man. I would go to Ordóñez, or I would go to J&S, but I never go to King Taco. I was standing in line one day, dude, and nothing but tacones, bro. Like somebody, it's like a quinceañera and a wedding exploded in front of me, bro. It was like it was like everybody that got kicked out of the wedding was at this place, bro. Mad.
Like they couldn't get in.
They ran out of food.
And then, bro, they were like real raza, bro. Like it was like real raza, bro. Like, talking about, bro, like when you're eating a taco and your aunt is flossing next to you in a restaurant, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up flossing, bro.
From the rancho to the big city.
They get mad because there's no caca inside the tripa tacos, like las lavastes.
What's your Gil, you and I, we talked one time because I told you that I saw that Night Stalker movie with A. Martinez.
Yes.
And I remember you helped in that movie too.
Yes. That was a made-for-TV movie.
I saw that one.
You told me that they wanted you to hold a donut, and you said what?
Oh, no donuts, man. I don't even care for donuts that much. You want to have me eating? I don't care. But make it a burrito, a taco, or something. That's more realistic.
It should be
something. They had A. Martinez. They changed it from eating a donut when he was on a stakeout to eating a burrito.
Hey, Gil, did you ever drop salsa burrito in a crime scene?
No, never ate at a crime scene.
Contaminated the crime scene.
That's right. That's what you do. You don't want to contaminate the crime scene.
I wanted to ask you something about the woman in the show who I thought was badass.
With the hard glasses?
Working with you that would show up before you and investigate the whole crime scene.
She's the other one from Garfield, right? She was from Garfield too?
I don't remember what lady you're talking about. I did have a female partner at one time that graduated from Garfield.
That's a lady that had the victim across the street from her, right?
Oh no, she went
with a woman.
She graduated from Garfield also. That was Linda Arthur at the time, and Sophie Dickman lived right across the street from her. That was a rape victim that survived.
I was talking about the woman. She's a sheriff too, and she was there at the crime scene investigating.
The forensic specialist?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Linda Arthur.
She was badass.
Crime scenes.
Yeah.
She's the one that called you up and said, "I think this is your guy."
Yeah, that's Linda.
Yeah, she's great.
That's definitely Linda.
That's a good job to have, huh?
Yeah, I was supposed to go visit her and her husband and a couple other friends this weekend, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it.
My daughter wanted to ask you a question. My daughter, Tuesday Esparza.
Yes.
What is it, Lisa?
Oh, well, a lot of people had that question. They wanted to know, because Richard wasn't specifically the focus, his backstory and all that.
Yes.
But what do you understand as kind of what made him, his environment and his history of why he hunted, why he did all this?
To be honest, he's a victim of child abuse, certainly. But as to why he did what he did, Richard asked me, "Why do you think I did what I did?" I'll tell your daughter and the listeners what I told him. I said, "I have no idea. you got to get that from, there's people out there that call themselves doctors. You know, they study, they know what makes you tick. I'm a cop. My job is just to gather the facts, present them to the DA, and prosecute you. So I have no idea what made him do what he did. He's the, in trying to profile him in my own mind, I said I was looking for somebody that had been rejected by women, that liked to control women and control anybody that came in contact. And if you did what he said, you just acquiesced to his commands, you survived. And if you didn't, you died. And that's pretty much the way it turned out. He was a victim of child abuse as a kid. Says he used to get beat. He used to run away from his house and spend the night in the cemetery nearby. And I said, Jesus Christ, didn't that scare you? You know, that sounds, no, it was cool. It was calm. It was peaceful. So what made him tick? I don't know. Maybe drugs, maybe dope.
And also his uncle was influential, right? His uncle's.
Well, that's the story. He spent time with his uncle, and it was Phil Carlo that gathered all that information. So I really don't know how much he was influenced by his uncle.
He didn't tell him.
We didn't talk about his uncle at all. Yeah, I spent days with him, but we never talked about his uncle.
One thing that Philip Carlo mentioned in the book was that he was very insecure about his messed up teeth.
He never mentioned that he was insecure. I know that the county fixed them for him, but
they were jacked up, right? When you got them?
Oh yeah, they were. He had some bad teeth.
Because he lived like, I heard it one now. When he ate that honeydew, it looked like 10 people bit it.
They were cooking, stained, gapped, rotted. They were just no good.
I know his teeth. Like when they showed like his teeth on the bottom, like they were bad, bro. Like it looked like he spits out PCP.
Yeah, I don't know what he spit, but it certainly wasn't pretty.
When I was watching the documentary, did you watch the whole documentary?
Yes.
There's a part of the documentary when the San Francisco Police Department, the investigator over there,
yes,
go talk to a guy named
Armando.
And when they showed his apartment building, they showed Pico Aliso.
Well, I don't know what they showed. I saw what you're talking about, but so many of them look alike. I don't know that I didn't recognize it. And I used to drive by Pico Aliso all the time because my office was down at the Hall of Justice. And you're going to learn something about me. I used to drive for 3 months. I drove then it was RTD, now it's Metro. I drove the bus right up First Street.
The 31 and 30 Rampart.
Yeah, that's right. Pico and Rampart were ended. And I used to drive, I forget what number it was. It's a short one. They used to go up to General Hospital and then come back around.
Heights bus, 306.
I don't even remember the name of it. Because I only drove for 3 months. And most of it was that 26 line that went up to Pico and Rampart. I drove another one up to Glendale. So I used to go by that all the time. But I didn't recognize it, what they showed on the documentary.
So what's next for you? What's the big plan?
Right now, just continue enjoying retirement.
Oh yeah.
And see if anything comes out of this. If they're going to do anything else, there's always plans. They want to do something else. People want to write books. People want to do a lot of things. And right now, I'm just enjoying the ride right now.
You guys start an Instagram, dude. You'll get so famous off that.
Yeah.
My kids do all that stuff. I don't
have your kids help you create an account and all that stuff.
They'll do all that. I just can't believe how many people send me messages trying to be my Facebook friend from around the world. I mean, I've heard from Hungary, from Argentina, Spain. They want to do one of these put me on television on Zoom thing in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Canada. It's amazing. It's remarkable. And people are writing me in Italian. People are writing me in Spanish. And it's unbelievable to me. And I couldn't stand people, because there's been a couple of, I found 2 of them, and I bet I've been receiving at least 100 requests a day. And I've only received 2 of them that I've accepted as friends that they were scams. Hey, if you learned about this new grant that's out there and they're trying to suck you into something or scam, so I just block them right away.
That's crazy because have you got this one? I need $7,000 to take out $2 million. I am a Prince of Jordan.
Oh yeah, that one I get all the time on email.
It's funny, man. Like I get one every day. Just as you have a court date pending. The sheriff's about to go to your house if you don't pay this big amount of debt. And people get scared by that and give away their social, man. They're dumb.
Yeah, and you know better than that. I got bigger fish. Hang up on them.
That's how they told Lisa, you better wear your court shoes, girl.
Oh, that was that company that bought an old bed. That's long been paid off. And she was like, okay, well, we're going to get the sheriff. I said, please send the sheriff here. I will be able to explain my case to somebody rational. And she said, get your court shoes on.
Court shoes.
It's crazy.
That's
I wanted her
hilarious.
to call back because I've been wearing my court shoes for 2 weeks. Nobody came.
These bill collectors, these salespeople get slick. One time, one of these guys called me from my mom's phone.
Your mom put somebody up to get the money you owe her.
I know, man. She said, mijo, I work here now.
But I've heard of these people that call you and they pretend that they'll call from Mexico and they'll say stuff like, hey, I have your friend over here. Like they kidnap them, and if you don't send money, they'll kill them. But
Keep them.
They just call random numbers and hoping that you probably did have family or friends that went to Mexico, and for you to send money. Like I heard of stuff like that, dude.
Hey, if they got any of mine, let them keep them.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
I'll send money for you to keep them over there, eh? Any question, Lisa, from somebody?
No, I think we covered a lot of them.
What year did the Night Stalker die again?
He died June the 7th of 2013.
Oh, wow. Damn, not too long ago. Shit.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Somebody wants to know, how has detective work between agencies improved since the Night Stalker?
Run that question by me again.
He said, how have technology and detective work changed over the years? Like either easier.
Oh, okay. Well, for the better, a lot more
DNA,
work.
Right?
Yeah, we have DNA today. We didn't have DNA back in the Night Stalker days. Now everything's computerized. Now we have cell phones, and what we can do with cell phones means a lot more paper writing for search warrants. But due to technology, we're able to follow people a little closer when we're looking for somebody. Leads us to a trail. We can follow phone trails.
And use of credit cards and ATM and all that stuff.
Sure.
Everything.
All this technological stuff that can follow anything computerized now.
People connecting to Wi-Fi's and shit like that?
Yeah.
Your phone pings off a tower, and then they triangulate it with two other towers. And
I just heard the news today. There was a big deal. I remember a couple of years ago when they had the big shootout over in San Bernardino County, and they wanted to get information off the suspect's cell phone. And
Apple wouldn't hand it over, right?
And Apple wouldn't help them out. Well, just today they announced on the news something about they're offering some new technology, and it would be like for corporations or for like cops, if they wanted it, $10,000 would now give you a way to hack into those phones and get all the technology, all the information you want off of them.
Honestly, if they had talked to the right people back when that crime occurred, they could have gotten the information.
Oh,
they
sure.
could have gotten those phones. There are people. There's tons. I'm surprised that they didn't have those resources. That knew how to get in there. They had to.
The only problem is when you do it and you do it for court.
Yeah,
when you do it for court, then you got to be able to present that it came legal. There's something that's called fruits of the poison tree. So everything that you obtain that was done illegally or not officially is poison. You can't use it.
Yeah.
And any information that comes out, if you get names or anything, it's just thrown out. You can't use it at all.
Even if those people are dead, you can't use that information against somebody else who might be in their phone or whatever coordinating. That's crazy.
Everything's got to be illegally obtained.
People want to know what are you gonna do to save El Pino?
I have enough saving me.
So it's kind of better that you don't add those people because they're gonna bombard you with stuff like that.
Do something about it.
What are you gonna do about El Pino? You're from Islos.
Yeah, that's a murder, bro. They're gonna murder the tree.
About, hey, what would you done if you were there at the insurrection? You would just shot people? That's funny. That was a big question. Somebody asked me. They said, "You think Americans are gonna shoot other Americans if they try to break into the White House?" Of course they are. If you put Chicanos in the front line with black people, oh, they'll be happy to shoot insurrectors.
What do you think?
One of my jokes I used to always have was, he goes, I used to love getting pulled over by police officers, especially white ones, but those dark Chicano ones, oh hell no, man, they'll beat their ass. The darker the Chicano, the bigger the ass beating.
You got to prove it harder, bro.
Oh, brother, I was a nice guy. You had a question, Lisa?
Yeah, are there any cases? Felipe talked about other tough cases or whatever, but are there any that still haunt you, whether they were yours or somebody else's, that just never got solved that you still think about?
There's one, and I'll be as delicate as I can. I have one. The husband died. I know the wife did it.
Damn.
There's not enough evidence to prove she did it.
Your number.
And I had at that time a partner that wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer, and it was tough to work the case. And once we left the building, I was really angry. And my partner said, "I don't know what you're so angry about." The wife agreed to take a polygraph tomorrow. And then I really lit into my partner and said, "That's how ignorant you really are. She ain't going to take no polygraph." She said she would. She's not going to take it. About 5 minutes later, the family called up and said she's not taking it. She's too distraught. I said, "You see, I knew she wasn't going to take this. It was all that case still bothers me because I could have had her. I had a shot at her."
You can't force people to take the polygraph?
No, you can't force them.
Oh, wow.
Let me ask you about the polygraph because, we all know it's got its flaws and it's not a lie detector, but it's still used. It's not admissible in court. I don't think any state uses it as evidence. I don't think. But people still use it. Is it more of a tool to get somebody nervous and get somebody to open up?
It's an investigative. You hit the nail on the head. It's an investigative tool.
Okay. So
you use it.
Using that.
You use it. They take it, and then you show them where they're lying.
Yeah.
You show them on the charts how they're lying, and you just keep talking to them, and eventually the hopes is they'll roll.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It cannot be used against them. It helps investigators, even if he doesn't talk. And I use it in the masculine form, he, because we all know that ladies are kind, Lisa. If he doesn't talk and the polygraphist tells us he's lying through his teeth, well, it's okay. At least we know we're on the right road. We're on the right track. Or if they'll tell us, no, this guy's telling the honest, good truth, well, then it lets us get off his back.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an investigative tool. That's all it is.
Yeah.
My mom will say that, you don't need a lie detector, man. Just tell him to take his hand out and start hitting him with a wooden spoon.
Dime la verdad, cabrón.
Pon la mano. Dime la verdad.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about something on episode 5 that when you were in Vietnam, you were actually trying to build schools and feed people over there.
We started an orphanage over there. It really broke my heart to see kids 9 years old with Uzis trying to protect their village. And so we actually started an orphanage. And I have an old article at my house here where it shows I wrote a letter to my parents and I'm asking for them to ask the locals out of Pico Rivera for help if they had any extra clothes or anything like that, because we were trying to start a village, an orphanage back there. recently, probably about 3 years ago, I was at a reunion with the guys that I used to fly with in Vietnam, and they gave a report. There is an Asian lady that lives in Orange County. She was actually a child in the orphanage and she was very grateful. She wanted to let everybody know how good things ended up turning out. And we still give money. They still raise, and guys go back there to the same orphanage. They build more housing for them, make sure they have everything that's going on. So the orphanage is still functioning.
Well, so people never talk about that, but there was actually 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds coming out with Uzis attacking soldiers.
They were protecting their village against the South Vietnamese. We call them Charlies. Not the North Vietnam, the Viet Cong. You just said it. The Viet Cong. They were protecting their village against the Viet Cong.
They would come in and just torch all the fields and the houses and everything that they owned, everything that they had, right?
Yes. So they helped protect their village. Just sad.
That must have been crazy. How old were you?
I was only 18.
Damn,
I turned 18 November 29th and the 1st of February.
Did they go to your house like they did with your prior? Hey, Mexicans, go to jail or go to the army.
No, it was the cop that I owe everything to, a cop by the name of Al Arias. He actually, I wasn't going to pass high school, and I was the first one in my family who wasn't going to graduate. And they said, write a term paper and I'll give you a D, which will let you pass. And so I asked this cop to help me out. And he ended up telling my parents, okay, now you better sign for him to get off the streets or you'll end up dead or in prison. And so they did. They signed for me and I went into the army. Ironically, most of the guys, all the guys on the block where I grew up in, if they went into the armed forces, they led productive lives afterwards. If they stood on the block, they're either dead or in prison now.
Crazy.
So how's that RV?
RV's good. It's going into the shop for oil change and getting ready for a road trip.
Where are we taking it, Skill?
What's that?
Where are we taking the RV lady? What's the farthest?
I've taken it to New Mexico. I've gone back there. I go to Arizona. We've gone to Vegas. We go down to the beach a lot. We go down to they have a Dockweiler State Park for RVs, and we'll go down to the beach, stay there a week at a time.
You can start a fire on Dockweiler Beach.
Yeah,
you have the fire pits and stuff.
Off the 105.
I don't even go down to the fire. Just park it and stay right there by my motorhome. Start a fire right outside my motorhome. I don't.
Most of leños.
It's comfortable. Don't have to do it. I really don't. I don't like the sand, so I just stay there in my motorhome. Got all the comforts at home. Let them do whatever they want to. So I like it. So the beach, San Diego, Arizona, New Mexico. That's about it. Vegas.
That's nice.
When they shot that movie American Me, did Edward James almost call you? I need your help.
No, he didn't call me. That was a tough movie. A lot of people died as a result of that movie.
Yeah.
Gang fighting, right? Or some people got shot.
Hardcore.
Crazy, dude.
I got a couple more questions, but somebody wants to know, what do you think of all the police brutality stuff going on these days, and how do you think things should be changed within the police departments to help combat that? Whoa.
Sorry, I fell. Yeah, I hit to the chair quick.
You know, I don't know. It's been my feeling for a long time. Everything is pushed on by the media, and so there's a lot of news going around. And every time somebody gets beat up bad, the news media is all over it. You don't hear anybody stomping their feet or shaking the bushes when a cop gets killed. So it's all a matter of how it's portrayed and how much police brutality is really going on when you think about how many cops really are out there doing it, and what's the alternative. I do know that when somebody, and I was on the force for 38 years, when somebody did get caught, when somebody gets caught and now they're wearing body cameras and everything else, they were disciplined, and they would take care of business. How much they're doing now, how much their hands are tied, I really don't know. I know I wouldn't want to be the chief of police of a department today. There's just too much pressure.
You ran for chief of police.
I was the interim chief of police for the city of San Fernando for 3.5 months. And
you ever feel like running for public office again now that you're this popular?
No, absolutely not.
You and George Lopez, 2028.
Absolutely not. There's so much
you
pressure.
And George Lopez, 2024.
He wants to give interviews from his kitchen. Like this.
I'll be happy to help people, do what's right, but taking the pressure, because automatically, no matter what job you take, it just appears that 50% are supporters and 50% don't want you there. So it's a tough job. You can never please everybody, and whoever screams the loudest, that's who gets the most attention. And that's the way the news covers it, because it's just the way it is. And so
when the Dodgers won the World Series, did you cry like everyone else? And
I was so excited.
I was crying, man.
I was so excited. I couldn't get. I was jumping around. Trust me, big deal.
I was crying, man, by myself. Lisa fell asleep. I was like,
I fell asleep for 10 minutes, and they won in that 10 minutes.
I was like this, like.
The fireworks, dude, right after, not even after, like a couple of minutes after, seconds.
For hours, I know.
I know, man. It was like the Balkan War out here, man.
I'm just disappointed. I got to go. I was at spring training last year. We came home, and my son went down there the day after we came back, and that's when they stopped the fans and they canceled the games over there. So they haven't been by since. I was looking forward to going to spring training again this year, but it doesn't look like they're going to open it up to the fans again this year. And so I don't even know how they're going to do with season tickets at the stadium.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be full capacity if they do.
No, 25% is what I hear.
Yeah.
I have one last question for Gil from somebody, and then you could wrap up however you want. But somebody wants to know if you saw some guy on your corner during the pandemic selling tacos, would you call the police?
No, absolutely not. I'd go buy some tacos. No, I wouldn't support them. I'm not going to call. I'm not the pandemic police. I worry about
police, dude.
There was when I used to teach, and I was teaching at the college level. I had a African American student. We were talking about whatever the subject was, and he was from the South. He was from Florida, and he says, my daddy used to tell me some things just need a whole lot of leave alone. So if it's none of my business, it ain't hurting anybody, and it ain't hurting me or anybody else around me. I don't care.
I look after how much you turn your head and don't want to get involved at this point because you're done. You're retired and like.
I don't turn my head. What I do now, most of if I'm going to get involved at all, I pick up my phone and call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be a good witness.
Yeah.
but I don't want to get involved, and I'm not going to rat somebody out for selling tacos. Most of the chiefs of police today are all sitting there saying, we're not going to be those kind of police. I don't.
Yeah.
Just don't buy. You don't. I'm not forcing people to go buy from them.
What if you saw the taco guy go pee and not wash his hands? Would you call the cops?
That's a tough one.
Beat the shit out of him.
No, man. He would just say no onions.
Yeah. I'd hit him with a manguera. That's what I do.
Last year alone, there was 317 Americans that died as a result of a dirty taco stand.
That's a statistic?
Nah.
That's tragic.
That's a joke.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying. It's hilarious, fool.
I tell you what, statistics will show you the tougher the neighborhood, the better the taco.
And the tougher the fucking immune system, bro.
These are risk your life tacos.
Also, man, the cleaner the shitty neighborhood is, the better the cupcake.
Hey.
Well, there you go.
The
Hey,
turnover.
Gil,
I don't
what do
like
you think of
just like I don't like donuts.
Gil? What do you think about all these people getting all fascinated and getting excited about birria tacos?
I have
It
no
is
idea.
crazy.
I have no idea. I've tasted them. I really don't like them.
Me neither. I've
Yeah.
only eaten, me growing up, I've only eaten birria, chivo birria, goat birria,
On a
baptism, and weddings if you invited me. That's it.
And because they forced you to, right?
Yeah,
As
bro.
kids?
That's all there was. What are you gonna eat? What else
I
are you
mean,
gonna
there
eat?
was and right there where I grew up in Boyle Heights on First Street, there was a place called Birria Jalisco, and that
Yeah.
place was always busy. But that
It's
was
bomb.
there was no other birria tacos anywhere, bro. No quesadilla, birria pizza, none of that shit.
That place is called Don Boni now.
Don
Shit.
Boni.
All right, let's let Gil get to bed.
Yo,
Yeah,
what's
man.
your let's quick fast questions, man? King Taco or Allen B's?
Oh, King Taco.
All right, hey.
All right.
Jim Burgers or fucking Tams?
King Taco.
Hey,
Oh
Both those
man,
places kind of suck. though.
man, dude, my best. I remember, man, being so tore up at King Taco, burning my mouth, bro. Eating a al pastor burrito and downing a hot atole, bro, on my throat.
See, I don't. You say Jim's and Tams. A friend of mine is part owner of Tams. He's got them all over. But I don't eat at Tams. I don't eat at Jim's. If I eat fast food, I like a burrito. I like tacos.
He's Dinas.
And Stevens.
He's Pete Pumpin' Taco, old school.
Yeah.
Huffin' Taco.
You know what? Hey, we have shows coming up. You can bring an RV to this one. Lisa, what's the date?
March 6th at El Paso County Coliseum.
Don't forget Irvine.
Paso.
What's that?
Don't forget Irvine.
Well, yeah, I was thinking El Paso March 6th. Irvine is 27th of February. It went on sale today. And that's a drive-in show. Those are both drive-in shows.
February 27, Irvine Spectrum parking lot. Bring
on the
your
rooftop.
car. It's gonna be a badass show. I would recommend if you have a truck, bring your truck, and you could sit down in your truck. It'd be like a drive-in theater.
Tailgating.
It's badass,
party
man.
bus.
It's like a party. And that's the only LA show I'm gonna have as of right now that I know that we have a show.
Okay, let me ask you something. Do they let you drink other than soft drinks there at your show?
Not unless you snuck it in with you.
I don't know, man, but I saw a couple of people with fancy.
They don't sell anything.
I saw people with fancy
Flasks?
Not flasks. Those ones your dad would use to drink coffee. Thermostats.
Oh, thermos.
Yeah. Thermos.
Oh, Yetis.
Fancy thermos, fancy Yetis. This girl she was making margaritas, man, and shaking them like that in her car, and they were eating they were cooking steaks. They had like a little ass chipati grill, man. They were going down.
I've seen a lot of people that were stacked up with their drinks all perfect, all custom. It was awesome.
Some people just planned it out good, bro. They had
I just drink. I drink wine these days. That's all I do. Drink wine.
Maroon.
So, Gil,
selling it, so whatever.
Now that you're famous on television, are you gonna bring back the band and bring back the saxophone? That's what we want to know.
Hey, you know what? The guys, we were supposed to play in August. We were going to play in August again, and pandemic shut everybody down. Now I'm blowing the baritone sax, and now it's heavy. I'm old. It's getting heavy. And my lungs.
What?
On your body, right?
Yeah.
It's like crosses your whole body, right?
It's a big one. It's a big and heavy one.
We're gonna have one day. I gotta have a show and Gil in the background playing.
How about do 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 do? Careless whisper, dog.
I can't believe how much that show to appear to everybody. One thing I noticed also about the documentary is they didn't say anything bad about him like this. Like, you know how the news are now. When somebody kills somebody now, they would have never let it slide the way he was represented. It would have been like this. Right now, we are still looking for this vicious animal who is out there killing people, this vicious dog, this no none of that. I mean, now you just barely cross the street. This vicious animal crossed the street and jaywalked.
That's
but
right.
The tone of the language was toned down. Like, there was nothing like where you could say, "Wow, he made us look bad." You know what I mean? Even though he did, but they didn't paint it. They didn't put a big picture up there. They didn't politicize it on the show, which I liked.
No, it was not about him.
Yeah,
it was about the investigation. And I hope they got their point across, and I hope something comes out of it in the future.
Man, when Frank Salerno was talking about the Hillside Strangler, I was a kid. I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old, or I was 10 probably. And I remember we had friends in Echo Park, and we would go to eat carne asada with them on Friday nights, and we would play loteria with them. His name was Panchito, and he lived right above where Shortstop is. He lived right above. You know, back then it wasn't a nice place to live in those hills, but he lived up there. And every time we would leave, the lady would say in Spanish, "Cuidado, que no te agarre el señor de las azoteas."
Wow, like that, dude.
That shit creeped me out, dog. It gave me a nightmare because I went to go sleep and I didn't know what that was. So somebody told me at nighttime when I went to bed, oh, she was saying, "Be careful of the Hillside Strangler." And I remember I dreamt about it, that he was looking for us. Well, he was looking for people in Boyle Heights, and we had a baseball game, and I was the only one that showed up to the baseball game, and no one else showed up because they were afraid that he was going to come to the game.
Strangle the ump.
You know,
you were saying, Felipe, he was just looking after women.
I had long hair. You know, Armando Cosillo went to school with his son, right, Rodrigo?
Yeah, dude, with one of the guy's son. The cousin was basically, right? Because it was a cousin and an uncle, right?
Yeah.
There was Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Bono.
Yeah, it was a Bianchi son then. He went to Marshall right there in Los Angeles.
Isn't it crazy that an Italian detective ends up cracking this case with this Italian guy in LA?
Italian detective
didn't have a really big Italian population at the time.
But that's how they kind of contrasted your story, though, Gil, right? With Richard Ramirez, you were able to communicate with them on that cultural level.
Yes, it was. It was very helpful, and it made me laugh. Culturally, one day he appeared in court, and when he walked into the courtroom, the first thing he said was "Orale Carrillo," and when he said that, all the news media,
my God,
came up to me. They thought it was a death threat. What was he doing? And the only one that understood it was Tony Valdez. And Tony and I ended up becoming good friends. We're still friends today. And anytime he sees me, first thing he says is, "Orale Carrillo." He knows better.
He was really good in the documentary as well.
Yes, he was.
Gil, I have to ask you a question, because this was also mentioned in the book about those 2 lawyers that Richard Ramirez chose. He found them at 222, right?
Arturo Melendez Hernandez was one of them, right?
Arturo and Daniel. Both had the last name of Hernandez, and we used to call them jokingly, instead of the 2 Hernandezes, we called them the Hernandi.
You've been Hernandized.
Yeah, they were the Hernandi.
Hey, Gil, we were making fun of those guys in an episode after we saw it. He goes, "Man, it looked like those lawyers would show up, like that kid that would show up to school late, asking to borrow paper and pen."
Exactly. Exactly.
With their Big Brother's suits on or something.
They saw big money when they took the case. They thought they were going to be court-appointed, big-time attorneys, get a lot of money, and the court felt that they didn't meet competency requirements, so they weren't going to pay them. They had to make their own money on the side. So they had this case, and they had to take cases on. They were working up in San Francisco area at the same time, San Jose. So they were tired. They were tired, and then they finally made them stop working up there and just down here.
Do you think some people were saying that Richard's father, when he hired that legal team, that was some sort of strategy because he knew like maybe they were inept enough or young enough to not do well. And then the case would get thrown out. And I think, and the other side was worried, the prosecutors worried that this case was going to fall through as a mistrial because of how bad they were, right?
Well, the dad hired him because it was the daughter that came up with a name. She'd gone to college back there. She knew one of them. So they needed a favor, needed some help. So they went ahead and they retained the attorneys. Oh. Not because they were incompetent. That's because they were Latinos and they were getting the best move they could. You know, they didn't care about, they just wanted the cheapest they could find that would take on the case. They did.
They found his card.
What you're saying is correct. The prosecution was Mr. Halpin was very worried about their incompetency level because he was afraid it would get overturned. Mm-hmm. But the courts also saw that, and the court appointed an attorney by the name of Mr. Ray Clark, who was very competent, and he came in. So they now had 3 attorneys on the case, and he went in there to make sure that everything ran smooth. And the prosecutor, since he was aware of it, was almost like doing double the work to make sure that everything went smooth. So there would not be an overturned verdict.
Yeah, it's very delicate, I imagine.
Is that true that he had groupies fighting each other in a courtroom?
They weren't fighting each other. He had groupies following him there. He had devil worship satanic people going in there. He had some very beautiful ladies going in there looking for him and want to sit there and get a glimpse of him and blowing him kisses. It was
what the fuck?
Did you ever see anybody flash a boob real quick?
I saw one open her legs real quick. I saw a lady. She looked like another attorney sitting there watching everything. And as she came walking by, she spread her legs open and blew him
vaginas, dude.
Give him a little.
I told my partner.
Teeth on that.
I told my partner, shit, put me in custody. Let's see if I can get some luck.
If I can get a little wink.
Yeah.
Because Richard wouldn't have had a normal relationship with any of those women, right? He couldn't complete the sex act with a regular girlfriend, right? Without
I don't know.
Wasn't that what the Philip Carlo stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, he did complete. I know we did have a victim
with victims, yes. I'm saying with regular girls.
With regular girls, that I don't know. I don't know that part of his life. And once he got in custody, I know he was never allowed to consummate anymore.
Like me before, I met Lisa, I couldn't make love to a woman without her ex-boyfriend knocking outside crying.
You couldn't come.
I couldn't make love to a woman unless her ex-man was in the door going, "You fucking bitch! Open the door!"
So tell me that ain't so, Lisa.
If they talk dirty to me, open the door!
I'm right behind you.
Ron says, Bill, from one officer to another, and being Hispanic, you are an amazing detective. Thanks for all you did. I also want to say the documentary was amazing.
Let me tell you, a lot of kids. We're gonna see something in the next 20 years. We're gonna see a lot of kids, man, who are just gonna grow up and want to be police officers. You're gonna touch them in a way that they're gonna be like, you know what? What you made me to be a sheriff? I'm watching Getaway, and I want to catch me a Night Stalker too.
I hope so.
Hell yeah, dude.
You think there will ever be another serial killer, or have there been another serial killer? And he was like the serial killer, the sleeper killer, or the other one they
California State Killer, Golden State Killer.
Yeah,
you know, there's always the potential to have more, and you work every case as if it's going to turn into a serial case. You know, you work it, you cross all the T's, dot all the I's, look for all the evidence you can, and if it's not solved, you wait for another murder to come by and see if anything mixes the same. You know, I had talked to Frank Salerno because we were regular partners. I talked to him one night, and I'm saying, so what was it like? I was asking him about the Hillside Strangler, and he was saying, you know, that's a once-in-a-career case, and those only come around once in a career, and then 2 weeks later, we're head up into this. So, and as a result of this one, there was another one that I worked on, but fortunately for me, I got pulled off of it because I had to go to trial with Richard, but I was working on another one that was about seven people that were killed in the city of Maywood. They were all transients, and I don't know whatever happened to that one.
I know there was the train killer, right? Once there was a serial killer.
Yeah.
I know he killed one of a friend of mine who was a comedian. He killed his sister.
That was the guy in Texas, or
that one.
Mexico? Yeah.
Well, now I saw a movie about a serial killer in the Soviet Union. Something Nicolito Chiclo, and I want to ask you if they ever did that investigator ever like call you or ask you for help investigating anything?
No, I've never been called by Russia. I did get called. They had a few years back. There was this guy called the BTK, bind them, torture, and kill them, and he went dormant for almost 30 years. Then he was getting ready to start killing again, and they caught him. They had called me back to go help them and work on it. And about a week before I was supposed to go down there, 2 weeks before I was supposed to go down there, they captured him. So I called them up and said, I guess all bets are off. You don't need me anymore. And they said, no, we've already scheduled. We want you to come in and give us some training anyway. So I went down there and gave him some training.
He was the one that sent letters, right? Like
Yeah,
he would
yes.
Okay. To the police officers?
Yes.
Trying taunting them?
One last question is is Ted Cruz the Zodiac killer?
His father, right?
His father.
I don't know. That's an interesting case.
Species.
I don't know. Have anybody approached you like to give you your own series based on you? And
No.
maybe like it could be played by John Michael, what's the name, from Chicago?
Hey, if they're gonna make it based on me, I don't care if they use Danny DeVito. You know, let them make it. Let me get some money out of it. That's good. No, but I've never been approached. I've never been approached like that.
Yeah, so you gotta get yourself an agent, man. So you could do a special appearance in like Mike Tyson.
Hey,
exactly.
When we're not on this Zoom thing, I may call you up and talk to you about an agent.
Yeah.
And start your Instagram too. You can get those brand deals too. Make that.
Oh, you know what you did? Get that Patreon and start giving out shout outs.
Cameo.
Cameo.
You'll make money off that, dude.
That'd be funny, man. Doing Cameo. Gil, I caught you on your birthday. Happy birthday.
You have the right to remain silent.
Oh,
my son just got us one of those cameos. My son got us one, and we just celebrated the day after Christmas with our 50th wedding anniversary. But because of the pandemic, everything's closed down. We couldn't really do anything. So we had gone to the store, and when we came back, one of my daughters said, how long are you guys going to be? Can you be gone at least 2 hours? What's up? I said, just take mom out. We went to the store, went looking around to buy. The day after Christmas, you find good deals on Christmas ornaments. So we went looking. We came back, and they had my house decorated like It's a Wonderful Life, the movie.
Oh,
and
wow.
they had candlelight. They had dinner. They had music going. They had posters posted up all around. And then they came back at 7:00 that night, my kids and my grandkids, and they'd made a video. And they had 2 people on that video for the cameo. One was the girl that played Zuzu in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. If you're familiar, she's the one that is in Jimmy Stewart's arms and says, my teacher says every time the bell rings, an angel earns his wings. So she was on there wishing us a happy anniversary.
Wow.
And the guy from Blue Bloods, which is that's
Tom Selleck.
That's your show.
That's my show. The lieutenant in there.
Tom Selleck?
Not Tom Selleck. His lieutenant, the guy that's his aide up there. And he sits there and he wished us a happy anniversary. And he says, matter of fact, hey, hold on. Hey, Commissioner. And he's yelling off to the side, Commissioner, it's Gil and Pearl's anniversary. You want to say? It was really a cool touch. So that would really, that'd really be cool.
That's cool. I mean, you could do it. I think it would water down your image if you did cameo, though.
No cameos.
You're
listening to you, Lisa.
You be chasing $20 here and there. Don't do it.
You're a national treasure.
Wait for the bigger payoff later.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up.
What's up, Food Podcast? Thank you very much, everybody. Gil Carrillo, thank you very much for being back on the What's Up Food Podcast. Don't forget to pick up these hoodies at felipesworld.com. Rodrigo Torres, good haircut. Shout out to that barber.
Rudy Gonzalez.
He's
a podcast listener.
A lot of people hit us up right now, man. Some family members. Oh, he's my daughter's grandpa.
Yeah, a lot of people are commenting.
Gosa, some guy.
Well, I want to thank you. I wish to thank you for the invitation. It was my pleasure, my honor to be asked. I'm very humbled the fact that you want to waste the whole show just talking, being able to talk to me, Rodrigo. It's always nice seeing you.
And
Lisa, you're the operation. You're the brains of the operation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you guys. That was fun.
All right.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Good